Welcome everyone to another episode of the In Conversation series. I'm Kate Gu, producer for digital special projects at M+. Through this series, we invite artists, designers, and makers to talk about their current practice and their works and the M+ collections. The series also explores how artists and makers are consuming the visual world as they share an image or object that has particular resonance with them right now. So today joining us is Henry Chu.
Hello.
Henry is from Hong Kong. He is quote unquote a full-time web designer, programmer, and part-time media artist. He founded the digital studio Pen Pillow in 2004. He engages with interactive media, data visualization, web design, and TV commercials. His artworks oftentimes explore music, body movements and gestures, and technology. Henry was commissioned by M+ to create a web-based digital work almost 2 years ago. So we collaborated and launched the work Canto Cocktail on the interactive section of the M+ Stories platform in December 2020. Canto Cocktail is a karaoke generator that uses computational algorithms to compose new medleys based on excerpts of 120 Cantopop songs. Henry dissected and analyzed the 120 songs to study their chord patterns, lyrics, rhythms, which then became raw materials to input into the karaoke generator. So without further ado, let's see a demo video of the work. So Henry, can you first tell us how the idea came about and what do you want to achieve through this project?
Hello， 我係 Henry。咁我嘅作品就叫做廣東雞尾歌，其實係一首關於廣東歌嘅作品嚟嘅。廣東歌對我嚟講咧係情歌啦。咁你失戀啊、唔開心啊、暗戀人啊、做第三者啊，你都會聽情歌嘅，因為好似有種感情嘅寄託喺度。咁我即係除咗聽廣東歌咧，我又會唱啦，我又會用個琴去彈啦。我記得嗰陣時喺紐西蘭讀書咧就好悶嘅，咁又好掛住香港即係五光十色嘅即係娛樂啊、文化啊咁樣。咁就聽好多啦，亦都彈好多廣東歌啦。咁我發覺佢彈歌同聽歌唔同咧，就聽歌你就首先你會接觸歌詞嘅，但係彈咧你會了解個音樂結構。咁你發覺咧好多即係越彈得多咧，發覺好多廣東歌咧都有呢啲咁樣嘅 chord progression 嘅。咁呢啲咁嘅 chord progression 咧，你即係由好多副歌有啦，嗱香港小姐主題曲都係咁樣樣嘅，咁都係一種即係好多會用嘅感覺。有啲結婚就會用啦，即係 Canon D 都係呢一種嘅 chord progression。咁啊發覺咧點解即係咁中意用咧？係咪佢有種好溫暖嘅感覺咧？咁所以我就有個諗法就係話啊，其實啲廣東歌係咪可以 mix 嘅咧？咁我又試下有時將 A 嘅 verse 就搭落去 B 嘅副歌咁樣，其實有時都幾得意喎，有時又 OK 嘅。咁當然即係彈嗰陣時，你都會聽到好多作曲人嘅風格啦，譬如 Eric Bock 好中意好多時單音或者重複嘅啲音嚟嘅 ，Christopher Chat 佢哋富士山下咁啲音好密嘅。咁我自己中意 Gerald 同埋 Vicky 風。我成日都覺得即係頭先嗰個廣東歌係嗰種好溫暖嘅感覺啦。咁亦都即係將啲歌 mix 發覺都 work 嘅。咁又開始諗，如果我將嗰樣嘢做得極端啲，我每一句我都係嚟自唔同嘅歌，係咪都得咧？ 咁幾年之後咧，去睇進現20年睇嘅東宮西宮，咁見到陳浩峰假音人就做咗個叫香港挽歌演出。咁香港挽歌就其實真係，咦，咪就係我自己想做嘅嘢咯，就係將好多首唔同嘅嚟自每一句都嚟自唔同嘅歌，咁將佢 mix 埋一齊。咁佢嗰陣時係都幾硬生生咁樣砌埋一齊，就冇跟一個特別嘅 chord 嘅 progression。咁我就覺得啊，咦呢樣嘢如果我啲歌係由我自己揀嘅，咁會係點咧？如果啲歌係由我啲朋友去揀嘅，咁佢嗰首香港挽歌係點樣樣咧？咁於是就諗下，我哋係咪可以即係如果將呢個邏輯由電腦去做咁樣，咁會做個新成績出嚟，咁會係點樣樣咧？2年前啦 M+ 咧就揾我去即係諗一個新嘅作品，就想喺網上邊去一個平台咁樣去做嘅，做一個媒體。咁喺度諗咦，不如我將嗰個諗法攞翻出嚟再做啦。咁大家都中意呢個諗法，結果就做咗香港雞尾歌啦。至於嗰個界面其實好似卡拉 OK 嘅，咁我覺得卡拉 OK 咧係都係一個即係唱情歌嘅地方啦。咁以我所知亦都好多愛情故事喺卡拉 OK 發生咗嘅。咁所以我就覺得我用翻卡拉 OK 界面作為一個大家嘅回憶，去將大家帶翻去嗰個年代嗰個情懷，去感受廣東歌咯。
So in one of our previous chats, you mentioned your childhood interest in video games. And as you were speaking about the karaoke element, because we can very much sense the playfulness of the work. So can you tell us whether games have influenced this work?
我細個好嚴嘅，咁我爸爸就唔俾我打機嘅，又唔俾我睇啲日本卡通嘅。咁但係你越禁咧，你就越想睇嘅。咁我就冇得打機啦，咁我就不停幻想咧，我喺個遊戲裏面咧點樣即係打啲嘢啦，點樣做啲古怪招式嗰啲啦。咁我覺得我自己嘅作品一直都係受遊戲影響，因為我成日都想即係腦裏面設計一個體驗，跟住就諗下，如果將呢個體驗我親身去玩係點樣樣咧？咁尤其是啲好經過屏幕同埋聲音嗰啲互動咧，咁即係我覺得嗰部每個人都有內向嗰一部分。咁我覺得我做呢啲作品其實都叫做幾雜嘅。咁就滿足咗我內向嗰部分。咁所以我覺得係嘅，遊戲互動性嗰樣嘢一直係我自己好想探索嘅一個領域。
The process making is important to the work. Can you briefly explain the process?
我做廣東雞尾歌咧，我選擇冇用嗰啲 audio sample， 咁即係我唔係喺首歌度 cut 一段音就去 mix 嘅，我用音樂結構去 mix 嘅。咁如果用音樂結構咧，咁我就需要一啲材料啦，去做呢個雞尾歌啦。咁呢個材料就包括我要歌詞啦，我要旋律啦，我要和弦啦。咁呢一啲資料咧，咁其實係 public domain 或者甚至你可以要去買嘅話，其實都冇。咁我唯有自己準備。咁我而家咧就會做一個小 demo 去解釋下我點樣去準備呢一啲材料。係啦，咁我今日咧就有個 demo 啦，咁就即係去睇下我點樣去入一首歌。咁我首先咧我就有一個自己寫咗一個 software 咧，就去記錄低呢啲歌詞嘅。咁我今日揀咗嘅歌咧就係林家謙《一人之境》啦。咁呢個界面咧就已經可以入咗佢嘅歌名啦、作曲啦、年份啦、作詞啦。咁同埋嗰個歌手係男女樂隊啊、合唱咁樣。咁首先咧，我首歌我就彈一次先，咁我自己熟習啊，知道個音係乜嘢。咁我大約已經知道個音啦，咁我就喺個 software 嗰度咧，我就入翻。咁我入完旋律之後咧，我就入嗰個和弦咯喎。個和弦咧就係 咁我入完之後咧，我就可以喺度聽翻一次。咁如是者呢個動作我就重複晒成首歌啦。咁我又做咗120首歌啦。咁喺最後咧，我就會攞到每一首歌嘅歌詞啦、旋律啦同埋咁我仲有一個步驟要做嘅。咁因為我啲歌咧，我要將佢 mix 埋一齊咧，即係你做雞尾酒一樣，你要將啲材料切碎佢先嘅。咁所以我就會用一個方法啦，將啲歌詞，譬如一個人原來都可以盡興，多了人卻還沒多高興，咁變成呢2個字3個字嘅短句。咁我 mix 起上嚟嗰陣時就會可以混合多啲歌咁樣咯。咁呢個就係一個好 typical 嘅準備過程啦。
So what do you think of the outcome? Has that changed your view of Cantopop or brought in new insights? Are there any unexpected learnings?
其實都幾估唔到嘅。原本我想做到一個好似發夢咁樣嘅效果。發夢係點咧？就係我而家喺張床度，我下一秒就可能翻緊工咁樣，下一秒就可能行緊山，下一秒就同緊另一個人傾偈，即係佢不停咁跳去唔同嘅夢境嘅。咁你又唔會知道幾時開始，又唔會知道幾時完。咁佢好似係根據你嘅直覺咁樣漂移咁樣。不過我覺得本來想做出嚟嘅歌係咁樣，因為佢係唔同嘅歌詞、唔同嘅意境裏面跳嚟跳去嘅。咁做出嚟比想象中好啊。咁大約4-5句咧，就有一句其實都幾 make sense， 都好似講得通，好似真係一首歌嘅歌詞咁樣咯。咁反而估唔到嘅就係其實有時啲組合係幾搞笑。咁因為可能即係我採集嗰啲歌都係唔同題材啦。咁即係當即係講緊情情塔塔嘅，一個又講麵包生靈咁樣就好好笑啦。
Can I say that intention to deconstruct the songs is to explore or expose the composition of Cantopop songs, and the result, which is a randomized remix, a mashup of songs, forms part of your critique on the Cantopop genre. Is that correct?
廣東歌好多人都會覺得千篇一律啦。好多人都會覺得好似啦。我覺得呢個唔係一個問題嚟嘅，呢個係一個即係必然會發生嘅嘢嚟。流行曲又好，廣東流行曲又好，其實佢個副歌係好重要嘅，因為副歌有嗰種溫暖嘅感覺。咁但係即係好似翻屋企咁樣。咁但係你唔離開屋企咧，你又唔會知道翻屋企係溫暖噶嘛。咁所以咧，你又會有離家嗰個咁樣嘅體驗。離家嘅體驗就好多時，我見到廣東歌都好積極做好多唔同類型嘅音樂類型嘅嘗試，或者風格嘅嘗試。其實喺啲 verse 嗰度其實見到好多jazz 啊、hip hop 啊、唔同即係嗰啲 classic 去玩啊咁樣，其實好多嘅。你見到作曲人就好勤力去試好多嘢，就係試嗰一部分離家嗰一部分咯，離開去探險嗰一部分。但係你一定會翻去副歌嘅。所以其實就係一種陌生感同埋一個親切感，不停咁穿梭呢兩者之間嘅感覺咯。咁呢個唔係淨係廣東歌嘅，所有 pop song 其實都係。
So the output obviously gives a sense of uncanny familiarity from the melodies, and then the lyrics are mixed up. A lot of times they're not making sense at all. So what do you want the audience to take away after interacting with the work?
我將廣東歌比喻好似個蛋糕咁樣啦。每一個年代就係每一層啊，可能70年代就係一個餅底，80年代就係個蛋糕咁樣，90年代就係嗰啲入面嗰啲材料啊，餅就係2000年就係上面啲 cream 同埋啲生果咁樣。咁你平時你去 聽廣東歌可能逐層逐層咁樣，好似食蛋糕咁樣啊。我聽呢一層，我聽呢一首歌咁樣。咁但係我而家 Candle Cocktail 就係有種我攞把刀去將個蛋糕切一刀，咁個切面就係你可以同一時間品嚐到唔同年份啦、唔同歌手啦，材料都係一樣嘅，但係你食嗰個方法唔同。咁用呢個方法去食嘅話，個體驗係點樣樣咧？其實我都係出於一個好似咁嘅好奇心。咁我而家仲做到你把刀可以打直切、打橫切、打斜切都得，因為我係可以用個界面你去揀唔同年份啦、唔同歌手啦。咁我覺得呢樣嘢唔多唔少，即係好多人嘅幻想都想知啊！如果係一個咁係點咧？可能演唱會你可能聽到話，即係某個歌手嘅 Madden 咁樣。咁但係將佢哋做到極端化係點樣樣咧？做完出嚟係咪仲係一首廣東歌咧？關於點解要 mix？我諗係相對嚟講，或者叫個去 mix 嗰個 item 嘅大細啊，就係一啲好大嘅定 mix 一啲好細嘅嘢。我覺得大家都見過啲 mix 得好大嘅嘢，例如成首歌或者成段，跟住就播落去第二首歌。我哋聽演唱會啲 medley 有啦，將3、4首歌串埋一齊啦。再短啲嘅有，譬如香港玩歌，一句有，都有人做過嘅。咁我覺得點解我仲要做呢件事咧？就係、我覺得可唔可以將佢 mix 嗰個mix 到你認唔到係邊首歌嚟？咁呢樣嘢我覺得甚至係由觀眾去決定點樣去 mix 係重要嘅，即係個自主權去咗觀眾嗰度。而唔係寫歌嘅人。
Can you tell us what you are working on or interested at the moment?
我哋而家2004年開始工作室啦，咁我哋都係一個10人嘅小團隊嚟嘅。咁我哋大約有15至20個project 做緊咁樣。咁由藝術嘅 project 到地產嘅都有。咁我哋都係嘗試喺市場上做啲唔同嘅嘢啦。咁即係我哋又最近又自己設計咗啲利是封啦，咁呢個就係即係商業㗎啦。但係如果我個人嚟講咧，即係我都繼續想去做多啲 machine learning 嘅。咁始終即係 AI 都係一個好大嘅範圍啦。咁即係究竟 AI 可以做到啲乜咧？我哋都好想知道，即係譬如我哋將某啲 process 或者某啲 decision making 放咗落去。即係用 AI 去取代嘅話，做出嚟會係點樣樣咧？咁即係人類嘅崗位係點樣樣咧？如果電腦可以取代一啲嘢嘅話
，Finally, can you share with us the object you picked?
我咧就揀咗呢一個物件嚟嘅。咁呢個物件咧，其實係我個女2年前做嘅一個陶瓷。係啦，咁佢而家8歲啦，咁佢啱啱去做嗰陣時咧，就好隨機咁樣啊做咗件咁嘅嘢。咁點解我會對我嚟講有意思咧？我覺得呢樣嘢係 AI 嘅完全相反。AI 咧就係一啲你預測到亦都好整齊嘅嘢，好整理嘅嘢，但係毫無趣味嘅，你要幾多佢都可以即係生產到俾你嘅。咁呢樣嘢咧，反而係一個好 messy、好混亂嘅一件事。但係亦都無窮地有趣咯。咁所以當我哋去見到一啲物件嗰陣時，我哋會諗下邊樣嘢係珍貴啲咧？我哋會想同邊樣嘢產生互動多啲咧？咁所以我就即係攞住呢樣嘢，我提醒我，即係譬如我哋係咪太 rely on AI 啊？或者我哋究竟應該即係創作嘅本質應該係點樣樣
？Thank you, Henry, and thanks everyone for spending time with us. If you want to learn more about Canto Cocktail, make sure you check out the interactive section of the M+ Stories platform. Goodbye.